Imagine being pulled over for drunk driving, failing every sobriety test, and blowing a blood alcohol level that would have most people unconscious or even dead. Now, imagine you haven't had a single drop of alcohol. You plead your innocence, but no one believes you. Not the police, not the doctors, not even your own family. Your life begins to unravel as you are labeled a closet alcoholic, a liar. But what if the brewery wasn't in a factory, but inside your own body? If you are fascinated by the strange and unbelievable ways the human body can betray us, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. The stories we tell will make you question the very nature of reality. Tonight, we explore a medical condition so rare, so bizarre, that it sounds like science fiction. A condition where a person's own digestive system turns into a distillery, fermenting ordinary food into alcohol and causing spontaneous, debilitating intoxication. This is a story of DUIs without drinking, of lives ruined by a biological anomaly, and of the desperate fight to be believed. This is the strange and disturbing world of Auto-Brewery syndrome. For most of us, the process of getting drunk is straightforward. You consume alcohol, it enters your bloodstream, and you feel the effects. But what if that process could happen without your consent, without you ever touching a bottle? For a small, unfortunate group of people, this is a terrifying reality. Their bodies have become living breweries, turning a simple meal of pasta or a slice of bread into a potent alcoholic beverage. This is Auto-Brewery syndrome, or gut fermentation syndrome, and it is one of the strangest and most disruptive medical conditions known to science. The mechanism behind this bizarre phenomenon lies in the complex ecosystem of our gut. A healthy digestive system contains a balanced variety of bacteria and yeasts that help us digest food. But in people with Auto-Brewery syndrome, this balance is thrown into chaos. An overgrowth of specific types of yeast, most commonly Saccharomyces cerevisiae, the very same brewer's yeast used to make beer, takes over the small intestine. When these rogue yeasts are fed a diet rich in carbohydrates and sugars, they do what yeast does best: they ferment. They turn those sugars into ethanol, the same type of alcohol found in beer, wine, and spirits. This isn't a small amount of alcohol. The fermentation process can be so aggressive that it produces enough ethanol to raise a person's blood alcohol content, BAC, to dangerously high levels. People have been documented with BACs of 0.30% and even 0.40%, levels that would render the average person comatose or could even be fatal. To put this in perspective, a BAC of 0.08% is considered legally impaired in most states. At 0.20%, most people experience severe confusion and disorientation. At 0.30%, many people lose consciousness. At 0.40%, there is a significant risk of coma and death. Yet, paradoxically, many sufferers of Auto-Brewery syndrome can still walk, talk, and function at these extreme levels, their bodies having adapted to a state of near constant intoxication, much like a seasoned alcoholic. It is a phenomenon that baffles medical professionals and challenges our understanding of human physiology. The symptoms are as unpredictable as they are debilitating. A person can feel perfectly normal one moment, and then, hours after a meal, they can be hit with a wave of dizziness, confusion, and slurred speech. They can experience brain fog, memory loss, and impaired judgment. They can become clumsy, agitated, and suffer from violent mood swings. And the next morning, they can wake up with a crippling hangover, despite not having had a single drink. It is a life lived in a constant state of uncertainty, never knowing when the next episode of spontaneous drunkenness will strike. But the physical symptoms are often just the beginning of the nightmare. The social and legal consequences can be even more devastating. Imagine trying to explain to your boss that you're not drunk at work, you just had a sandwich for lunch. Imagine your spouse accusing you of being a secret drinker, of hiding bottles and lying about your consumption. Imagine being arrested for driving under the influence, your life and reputation shattered, all because your own body has betrayed you. This is exactly what happened to a woman in upstate New York in 2014. After having a few drinks with her husband over a 6-hour period, she was driving home when she got a flat tire. A concerned passerby called the police. When they arrived, they administered a breathalyzer test. The result was a staggering 0.40% BAC, 5 times the legal limit. She was arrested and charged with an aggravated DUI. She insisted she was not drunk, that she had barely had anything to drink all day. No one believed her. At the hospital, doctors were baffled. The woman was not exhibiting the signs of extreme intoxication that should have accompanied such a high BAC. Hours later, her blood was tested again. It was still at 0.30%. This is when her lawyer, Joseph Marisak, began to suspect something was deeply wrong. He discovered Auto-Brewery syndrome online and arranged for his client to be monitored for 12 hours in a controlled environment. Without a single drop of alcohol, her BAC climbed throughout the day, reaching more than 4 times the legal limit by the evening. The evidence was undeniable. Her body was producing its own alcohol. Just before Christmas in 2015, a judge dismissed all charges against her. She was one of the lucky ones. Many others have not been so fortunate. The condition is so rare and so poorly understood that many doctors have never even heard of it. Since 1974, only about 20 cases have been officially documented in English medical literature, though experts believe the true number is much higher, with countless sufferers going undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. Patients are often dismissed as closet alcoholics in denial, their pleas for help ignored or met with skepticism. They lose their jobs, their driver's licenses, their families, and their freedom, all because of a bizarre medical anomaly that no one believes exists. They are trapped in a prison of their own biology, judged and condemned by a world that cannot comprehend their condition. The social stigma is overwhelming, the isolation profound. The causes of Auto-Brewery syndrome are still being investigated, but a few key risk factors have been identified. Prolonged or frequent use of antibiotics can wipe out the good bacteria in the gut, allowing fermenting yeasts to take over. Conditions like Crohn's disease, diabetes, and a weakened immune system can also create an environment where these yeasts can thrive. In some cases, it can be triggered by a diet high in carbohydrates and refined sugars, which provides the perfect fuel for the fermentation process. Diagnosis is a long and arduous process. It requires extensive testing, including a carbohydrate challenge, where a patient is given a high dose of sugar and their blood alcohol level is monitored for several hours without any alcohol consumption. Stool samples are analyzed to identify the specific yeast or bacteria causing the fermentation. Many patients spend years searching for answers, visiting doctor after doctor, being told they are imagining their symptoms or lying about their drinking. Even with a diagnosis, treatment is not always successful. The primary treatment is a radical diet change, a high-protein, low-carbohydrate diet with absolutely no sugar, yeast, or alcohol. This means no bread, no pasta, no potatoes, no fruit, no sweets. It is a restrictive, difficult lifestyle that requires constant vigilance. Antifungal medications are also prescribed to kill off the excess yeast. For some, this brings relief. For others, the symptoms persist, and the cycle of spontaneous intoxication continues, a never-ending nightmare. Living with Auto-Brewery syndrome is a daily battle. It is a life of constant vigilance, of scrutinizing every food label, of fearing every meal. It is a life of social isolation, of avoiding restaurants and parties, of being unable to enjoy the simple pleasure of a piece of cake or a glass of juice. Patients must carry medical documentation with them at all times, fearing that at any moment they could be pulled over and arrested. They live in fear of losing custody of their children, of being fired from their jobs, of being branded as alcoholics when they have never touched a drop. And it is a life of constant fear. The fear of being pulled over, of being arrested, of being judged and disbelieved. It is a medical condition that sounds like a joke, a punchline to a bad comedy sketch. But for those who suffer from it, it is a living hell. The psychological toll is immense, with many patients suffering from depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts. Auto-Brewery syndrome challenges our fundamental understanding of intoxication. It forces us to confront the fact that our bodies are complex, mysterious ecosystems, capable of producing their own poisons. It is a stark reminder that not everything is as it seems, and that the truth can be far stranger and far more terrifying than we can possibly imagine. What would you do if you found yourself in this situation? How would you prove your innocence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story as fascinating as we did, please like, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the weird and unexplained.